So this is a fresh instance. So my trial got expired. So I had to create a new instance, trial instance. So let us, um, today we are going to discuss about relationships. Okay. So let me just create one solution before I create tables for that. So, so any idea like what are relations and why do we use relations um, in the tables? I mean, whatever idea you have.
Yeah,
So
yesterday, like we talked when we have an account and we wanted to do lookup, like for the contact. For example, there is an account which relates to whole organization, and if we want to call to someone and or if we want to see who is the right person to talk, then that could be the contact. So it's like two different accounts in, I mean, relation. It's just like relating two different accounts. Is that right?
yes, Indresh, you are correct. So relations are basically um, they define um, the ways how the data in one table can be related to data in another table. How, in what ways the data can be related with each other. Okay, that 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 defines. Okay, that is defined by the relationships. Okay, in the tables. Okay, now let me give you one example. Okay, suppose I have one school. Okay, ABC. The school name is ABC, and it is the responsibility of the correspondent to to plan the schedule, the timetable for all the teachers. Okay, he a day before he needs to plan timetable, a schedule for all teachers. Okay, so how does he do that? First of all, he needs to have a list of all the teachers, teacher table. Okay, now he also needs to have the list of all the classes. Okay, or I mean, at least he needs to plan, he needs to um, assign all the teachers to the specific classes. Okay, how does he do that? So he needs to create one table or one plan saying sessions. Okay, so suppose say a teacher will have 4 sessions in a day. Okay, so session one is for class 7th. Session 2 is for class 9. Session 3 is for class 10. Likewise, he will schedule our sessions, right? The teacher sessions. Okay. What does the session contains? I mean, the session table should contain. It should contain the class that teacher is going to teach, and time. Okay. Um, and also what else? Day. Okay. These are the attributes of the session table, right? So how these are related? Okay. In session table, I'm going to make a reference to the teacher table. Okay, that is how I can say that okay, this teacher is going to take this session. Okay, so let me just create the data model. Okay, for which I need to first create the teacher table, right? So if you are not getting anything, if you are not getting something, just stop me and then ask your question. Okay, because this is really important. Okay, the table name is teacher, and what is the primary column of a teacher? The name of the teacher, right? So let's keep it like that. It can also have first name and last name, that is fine, but in the interest of time, we'll just keep it as teacher name. That's it. And let us create few more columns. Okay, teacher column. Um, what else? Let us skills. Okay, just give skills, whatever. Or subjects. Okay, let's see these subjects. Let us give, I mean, say that let's keep it as a text column for timing, but we can also have a choice column. It all depends on us. And teacher, what else? Do you think we should add any more columns to the teacher table? Yeah, let's keep that simple. Let's keep it simple, okay, for time being, because it doesn't really matter like how many columns we are going to add here. So we have created the teacher table. Now we have to create the sessions table, right? So let us table and then call it session. You can call it classes also. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just calling that session. Okay. And session name. Okay. We can say, okay, we can name a session. That's not a problem. Let's create some columns. The date and time, right? Session date. So let's say session time. Okay. This should be date time. And the other column that should be that is required is teacher. Teacher is a lookup. A lookup to teacher table. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Sri. So we are actually discussing um, relationships today. Okay. So I'm just creating. I just created two tables, and I'm going to relate these two tables using the relationships. Okay. So I have created these two tables. Now, what I need to relate these two tables. How do I do that? I already related. I have created a teacher lookup in session table, right? Now let me open the form and add it. But before that, let me just show you the relationships. So here, if you go to the relationships, so these are all system relationships. When you create a table, system creates these relationships by default. Okay, and the relationship that we created is this one. When I created the loop, it created a relationship by default. Okay, so this is a teacher table and this is a session table. The lookup name is teacher. Okay, lookup requirement is optional. That means I have not made it mandatory. So let's make it mandatory because teacher column is mandatory, right? On the session
One
table.
quick question here, Praveen. Sorry to interrupt. So you related in sessions table, right? In sessions table, you called the teachers table lookup, but how did already it comes to the teachers table as well?
Yeah,
But
so yeah, I created the lookup in the session table. So when I create the lookup, it also creates the relationship between these two tables. Okay.
okay, makes
So
sense. Yeah, got you. So if you relate from sessions to teachers, automatically it also happens in the teachers to sessions, so you need not do it
Yeah,
in the two tables separately.
yeah. I'm going to that part. I'll come to that part. Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry.
In a bit. Yeah, no problem. So I just made that field mandatory, and this is the relationship that is created. This is the relationship name. Okay, this should always be unique. And if you click advanced options, okay, so here you see some options like, okay, so so when you see the data, here you see current table display settings. Okay, so um, when I see the related data, what should be the display name of the related data? Okay, that is what it is. So use plural name. When I say plural name, it is the name of the plural name of the table when we create the table. Okay, I don't want to close this one. So here, so you see the plural name here. Whatever the plural name that we defined here in the related section, okay, that will show the display. I'll show this part, okay, later, so that it makes more sense where this display name all and where the display name will show and all. Okay, I'll show this later. Okay. Okay, here you see the relationship behavior. It is showing as referential. So this is most important. Okay. Now, you asked me this question, right, Indresh? So it is showing as teacher and session, right? Here the relationship is one to many here. Okay. Now let me just click say and then go to session table so that it makes more sense.
So it
Let me go.
might be many to one, right? Because sessions are many, but teacher will be one.
Yes. So there we saw like it is one to many. Here it is showing as many to one. What is the difference? There is no difference. It is the relationship is inversed. Okay. When you change the table, it's the same relationship, but the here many become many, many become one. That's it. Because
How,
the tables
how
are
can you change
reversed.
the relation?
Hmm?
How can you
Could you
see, for example, if there is a single session and two teachers are there for that single session, so then if Praveen and also if some other one is there, so for the single session, then how can you do like that?
see a session can contain only one teacher. One
Okay,
session record can contain only one teacher, but one teacher can have many sessions. Okay,
got it.
I will see that when I create the data, but I'm just trying to show like what all we have here. Okay, so if you see here, okay, um, the relationship behavior. Okay, so let me explain you in detail about this behavior because this this is really important when you model your data and so when you it is like I mean, so this relationship behaviors actually decide whether the child record should be orphaned, okay, or not. Okay, so when we delete the parent records, okay, sometimes we should prevent the child records being deleted. Okay, in some cases when you delete the parent records, our child records also should get deleted. Okay, that behavior should be defined in this using this configuration. Okay, the relationship behavior. Okay. Suppose say I have, okay, let me create some data so that it makes more sense. Let me create some data. Okay, so first let me create the teachers. Okay, uh, and the teacher table. If I have two, three records, it makes more sense when I explain these and I explain those relationship behaviors. Meanwhile, let me also create an app because I don't have any app because all my data got deleted when the license got expired. So model driven app session management on session management. So what all I have? I have subject head. In the session, I can have the name, session time, and the teacher. Teacher is teachers to be mandatory. Okay, save and publish. Time also should be mandatory. This will take a while, but this is really required. So I'm just trying to add these two tables to the app. Hmm, This is not the one. Yeah, this is the one that we created. Let me name it. And table. So meanwhile, on teacher table, so let me add a list of sessions. So how can I add it? I just have this open. So, so this is the general tab. Let me create one tab for We already have this tab. Let me create one section. So let me name it sessions. Inside these sessions, I need to add subgrid. If you want to show the related records, you need to add subgrid. So show related records. So the related record table is sessions teacher. So you can pick it. When you select related, it will only show the tables that are related to the teacher table. So here sessions is the related table to the teacher, right? Click done. Okay, now let me name this properly. Sessions, and write this label, save and publish. While it publishes, let me open and yeah. So yeah, I have already created one teacher. Let me create one more. Okay, for Praveen. Let us create some sessions. So for this teacher, you need to make the timetable, right? So let's create the first session. So session for class 6 physics. I'm just naming that. And session time is I'm making it for tomorrow. Tomorrow the session starts at 9:30 a.m. Save it. So for better visibility, let me add a few more attributes to this grid. So I need to go to sessions table, go to views, and add those relevant attributes. Just follow me. I mean, if you have any questions, then just stop me and then pose your questions. It should contain teacher, look for teacher, and the session time. It's created on is not relevant. Save and publish. Okay. Now let's go here and refresh it. Okay. Yeah, I have the session created, right? Let me create one more session. Okay, class 9 physics. Okay, session name and session time is tomorrow, starts at 10:30. Okay, save it. Okay, so what is the relationship between teacher and sessions? It is one to many. One teacher can attend many sessions or teach many sessions. Okay, now let us go to the relationships again. Now go to teacher table and go to relationships and open the relationship. Now we need to play with these relationships. Okay, so teacher, right? Okay, the important thing that we need to discuss is this one, the relationship behavior. Okay, as I said, okay, there are three types of relationships. referential, parental, and custom. First of all, first of all, we discuss parental relationship. Okay, what is parent? Okay. Parental relationship means if I perform any activity on the parent, okay, suppose I delete this teacher record, okay. So as per the parental relationship behavior, the child also should get deleted. Okay. That means the action that I performed on the parent record, it should be cascaded to all its child records. That is what it is parental relationship is about. Okay. Suppose if I deactivate parent record, it should also deactivate child. If I share this record, it should also share these records. Okay. So let me perform it. Okay. Now, suppose I want to assign this record, this teacher record, to someone else. Okay. I want to assign. Assigning means changing the owner of these records. So I assign this to a builder user. Okay. The owner of this record is a builder. Now the owner, okay, I haven't changed the behavior, right? So first of all, I need to change it and then only I need to do it. Otherwise it won't reflect. So once the relationship behavior is changed, you need to publish the table. Okay. But whatever I said is clear, right? Okay, the action performed on the parent record, it should be cascaded to the chain table. Okay. So let me publish it. So when I say action, it could be assign, it could be share, or it could be delete. Okay. All those are actions that I perform. So let it publish and then refresh it. So let me change the owner again. And I change it to org, this one. Okay. So this doesn't have proper privileges. So let me just pick one user that has, let me try this one. So when I assign it to one user, the user should also have privileges to be able to own that record. Okay. So otherwise the system doesn't allow us to assign these records to others. So let me try this. Build a prod. Let me try this. Since we have not tried the other record, let us try this record. Okay. This one. Because we have not changed the owner for this one, right? So let me create a couple of options. I'll quickly create one more record. Okay. Now let us change the owner for this one because only record that I mean the only user that is working is a builder. So let us try for that. A builder, this one. That is working. So now the owner of these two records also should have changed. Okay. So you see the owner changed and For this also owner changed. Okay, you saw the cascading of those actions, right? The action performed on the parent, it it gets cascaded to the child records also. Let us change this to change it back to me. So save it. Okay, owner changed. Let me check the owner. Again, here also change. Here also change. So that is, there are more actions. Okay, let me show what are those actions. Okay, if you open the relationship, so you can see all the actions that it can perform that gets cascaded to the child records. So this is parent, right? Referential. Look for referential. Yeah, these are all the actions: delete, assign, share, unshare, repair. Share and unshare. Okay, when we perform it, the system doesn't show. I mean, system share the child records also, but you won't be able to see that because system store those details in the back. Okay, that's why I won't be able to show that to you, share and unshare. But it is the same concept. When you share the parent record, child also gets shared. And okay, let us perform delete. Okay, so that you will get a better idea. Okay? So in the sessions, we have um, Praveen's records, right? Okay. So let me delete Praveen. Okay. So when I delete Praveen, all these, I mean, these two child records of Praveen should be deleted. Okay. So click this, delete. Now go to session. There should be only two records. You see. So that is the parental behavior, relationship behavior. When parent is deleted, child also gets deleted. So any questions on this? Okay. Now let us check the other two types. Okay. So let us open this and go to advanced options. And we saw what is parental is about. Now let us check a referential. In referential, okay, when there are two types. One is a remove link and restrict. I just mentioned, right, like, okay, this referential type, I mean, it makes sure that, okay, the child records do not become orphaned when parents gets deleted. Okay? So what happens is when you select referential behavior, whatever the action that will perform on the parent, it will not cascade it to the child. Okay. So when you delete a parent, it doesn't. If you just select a remove link, okay, what happens is it doesn't delete the child records. What the system does is it will just remove the link between parent and child. That's it. So let me just show you this. Let me create some more data. Right. Okay. Now, I have two session records, right, for Anita. So let us open Anita record and delete it. Okay, as per parental relationship, if I delete parent, child also should get deleted, right? But the relationship I have configured is remove link. It just removes the link. It doesn't delete the records. If I delete it, okay, now go to sessions and see both the records. Here you don't see teacher because teacher is deleted. It just removed the link between teacher and session. Now what we can do is, I will suppose say that teacher is no more working for the school. I just update our teacher is on leave that day. Okay. So I will open that record and then assign these records to some other teacher called John. He will take these sessions. So when you when you use remove link behavior, it it doesn't delete the child records. Okay, it just deletes the parent. That's not just about delete. Any action that we perform on the parent, it doesn't get cascaded to the chain. There is another type. Okay, the other type is in the relationship, a referential relationship. There is one more type called restrict delete. Okay, this makes sure that, say, okay, in this type, in the removing type, it makes the child records as orphans, right? When parent is deleted, it is just making the child as orphan. You might be having some requirements or use cases wherein you want to restrict users from deleting parent without deleting the child records. Okay, in order to make sure that you don't have any orphan records in the system. Okay, so in that case, user needs to delete the child first, and then only he should delete the parent. Okay, so by configuring it as restrict delete, we can achieve it. So let me just show you that. So publish it. As I said, we cannot delete the parent without deleting the child. Suppose I have this record, okay, John. I want to delete John. Okay. As per the configuration that I set, relationship behavior, I should not be able to delete it. See what the system say. Okay. See, the record cannot be deleted because it is associated with another record. Okay. System is trying to make sure that you do not have any orphan records or orphan child records. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to delete the parent, sorry, child first. Select those records, delete. The childs are deleted. Now see what system say. It should be, we should be able to delete it. Done. Clear? So that's what it does. So this is about referential and parental. We have one more type called custom. So in some cases you want a combination of parental and referential, right? Okay, then in that case you need to configure, you need to select custom behavior. Okay. In the custom behavior, you can actually select like for what action, what behavior should apply. Okay. So suppose for delete action, I want to keep it as parental. Like when parent is deleted, I also want childs to get deleted. Okay. I can actually configure that. Okay. So you will see all three behaviors like uh, remove link and restrict. These are referential type. Cascade all. This is parental. So whichever behavior you want, you can pick it for that specific action. Okay. So for delete, you selected remove link. For assign, for assign and other privileges, there are different types. Okay. For assign, you see like four types, right? Cascade all means, okay, when parent is assigned to a owner, child also will get assigned. All the records. Cascade active. Suppose I have four child records. Out of four, two records are owned by me. I mean, not owned. It's about active and inactive, right? So out of four, two are inactive and two are active. Then if I select cascade active, only active records are, for active records, the action gets cascaded. Okay? The active records are owned to the, assigned to the owner that I have chosen for the parent record. So, what he's trying to say is only active records get cascaded in, in the child type. Cascade user owned means in the child records, suppose say I own some records and there are other records owned by someone else. Okay. Then if I perform these assign action on the parent, okay, whatever the records that I own, okay, the action gets cascaded to only the records that I own. Other records won't be affected. Okay? That's what it means. Cascade none means like it doesn't cascade the action on child records. Any confusion here? So we are just, setting like what records the action, when I perform the action, for what records it should be cascaded, what records it should not be. There are two other criterias like, okay, the first criteria is active and the other one is user. Active means the action will be cascaded to only active records. User owned means whoever is performing the action, it will cascade the action to the records that he owns. Other records won't be affected. Okay. Cascade none means it doesn't cascade that action at all to the child tail, okay, or child records. So that's what it means. Same thing with the share. Okay. Same concept here. Same with the unshare. Okay. When you share it, it should also share the child records. When you unshare it, then also it should revoke that action. Okay. That's what it means. A reparent. A reparent. This is a little bit different. Okay. So reparenting means um, in case of leads and opportunities. Okay. So let me open leads and opportunities. So this is a little bit tricky. So let me open leads. Yeah, in some of the relationships, the system relationships, especially. So let me open it. Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit different. Yeah, the reparent one. Suppose say in the system relationship, when I say system, the contact, the relationship between opportunity and contact is a system relationship. This is not the relationship that we have created. This is provided by the system itself. So when we select a contact, okay, for an opportunity, the owner of the contact by default, he gets access to the chains of the child records of the opportunity. Who is the owner? This is the record owner, right, of the contact. By default, whoever is the owner of the contact, he gets access to the child records of the opportunity. Okay. When I say child, codes, products, and all child records, right? He will get read access to this data. Suppose when I change this contact, okay, the owner will be the new contact owner will be different, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm reparenting. I'm reparenting this opportunity. The the contact is a parent to the opportunity. Now I am reparenting. I am trying to change the contact here. Now the new owner of this contact, okay, he should also get access to the child records, right? I mean, ideally he should get, but system actually provides that option, okay, in the case, in that case. So the option that we saw, a reparent, okay, here we have the option whether to provide access to the child records or not by default. So select custom, go to reparent. Yeah, what it is trying to say is when it is reparented, when the opportunity or any system relationship, that lookup is reparented, and what should happen to the cascaded action. Okay, so when you perform that reparent option, what should happen? whether you should give access to all the records or only to the records that are active or user owned or not. It is the same concept of this, but the only difference is reparenting. That is the additional access. We saw like assign, delete, share, and all, but reparenting is when you change the data on the system relationships. So what should happen to the new owner of the lookup? Okay? Whether you should be able to access to the data or not. That's what it means. Any questions related to this behavior? These are really important. Okay. So when you attend any interviews or anything, you would expect you could expect a couple of questions from the relationship behaviors. Okay. These are that critical. Okay. Any questions on this one?
One question, Praveen. You showed parental relationship behavior, referential relationship behavior, and the other one restrict, right? We seen restrict. Where is the restrict? The other one, there are three. One is parental, referential, and custom. But in between, you also said about restrict, right?
Restrict is part of the referential. Referential is of two types:
So
remove link
rest.
and yeah,
Okay, remove link and rest. Got you. Makes sense.
yeah. And the other one
Thank
is
you.
custom, which is the combination of parental and referential. You can actually specify like what behavior it should be for each action. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. So we talked about only one to many and many to one relationship, right? So we also have one more relationship. So here, when you click here, you see all types of relationship: many to one to many, and many to many. As I said, many to one and one to many, these are inverse relationship. If you see the many to one, if from teacher to session, it is one to many. From session to teacher, it is many to one, because the tables are inverse, the relationship also gets inverse. It is the same relationship. There is no difference. But many to many, yeah, this is a different relationship. Okay, let me give you a use case. Okay, you need to build a relationship between doctors and patients. Okay, suppose you have a doctor's table and patient's table in a healthcare management system. So, how do you build a relationship between these two tables? Okay, one doctor can have many patients in a hospital. Okay, suppose I go to a hospital and I am suffering from multiple diseases. Okay, I I can obviously visit multiple doctors, right? A patient can take consult multiple doctors. Likewise, a doctor can treat many patients in a day, right? So what is the relationship between doctor and patient? It is many to many. One doctor can treat many patients, one patient can consult many doctors. Okay. So that is the example for many to many. Am I making sense?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So let me show you here. So doctor and patient. Yeah. One doctor can treat many patients, one patient can consult many doctors. Okay, that is the relationship. So that's why it is called many to many. But whereas in this case, one teacher can have only one teacher can have many sessions, but one session can have only one teacher, right? So that's why it is one to many. Okay. Whereas in this case, it is different. So in if you have that scenario, then you create many to many relationship. Okay? You just specify the table name and it will create a table. Sorry, you specify it will create the relationship. So when you create a many to many relationship, in order to store the data, okay, system also creates an intermediate table. Okay? So as a homework, you just try to create a relation. I mean, I just gave the example, right? Doctor and patient. create one relationship between doctor and patient and add that subgrid the way that I added on the teacher. And I mean, I have added a teacher subgrid, sorry, session subgrid and teacher table, teacher form, right? Likewise, you add um, a doctor subgrid on patient record and a patient subgrid on doctor's form, and then create some data and let me know if you have any challenges in doing that. So you just need to implement the relationship. It is simple. Just create two tables, doctor and patient, and create a many to many relationship between doctor and patient, and open the form and add the subgrids. And let me know if you have any challenges in doing so. Okay. Any questions? You should be having a lot of questions for sure. So otherwise, you are not actually, I mean, doing any hands-on. That's what that implies to. So just practice more and let me know if you have any challenges so that I can connect offline also. I mean to clarify your questions and all. But let me just give you the learning part of this session so that you can practice it. This is the learning part. Just follow it. Okay. Thanks everyone for your time. Have a good day ahead.
Thank you, Praveen.
Good night.
Good day.